Hi, I'm Alex Anders, and this is the Bisexual Romance Author Vlog, at least for now. And I say that because of something I'm going to mention later. Good things and bad things happened this week. Some really good things and some really, really bad things. But let's start with the good things. The good things was it was my birthday this week, and my friends took me out for dinner and to Two Bit Circus, which is this adult arcade place, which was so fun and so nice. And I felt so validated and so loved. They bought me a cake. I ate the cake. I ate a third of the cake, which is one of the reasons why I'm on a fast right now. So I'm on 42 hours of a fast. So if I seem low energy, it could be partially because of that, and of course because of what I'm going to tell you later. But yeah, so that was a positive thing. I felt very loved and validated by my friends. And also on my birthday, I learned that my book, Her Red Hood, which was translated into French, made it to the top 100 on Amazon France. It made it up to, I think it was number 985 on Amazon France. So I'm again a best-selling author in France. After everything that's happened, it turns out that Her Red Hood, which got killed on Amazon, is actually a good book. And a book that people want. It's just that Amazon killed it when they deleted my account and was no longer able to gain its momentum. Yeah. Okay. Oh well. Well, that's great news. That's great stuff, and I was feeling very good so on the 22nd, which is Friday, which is technically today when I'm recording it. Amazon, the audiobook department, which is separate from Amazon. Like it's an Amazon company, but they send out separate checks, completely different. So it's like a different division. It's a different company within the Amazon umbrella. They were supposed to release the most important audiobook that I have released yet. Like the book that would determine whether or not I can continue to move forward with audiobooks. Island Candy is a book that was my bestseller ever, of any book. It was a bestseller on Amazon, bestseller in all the categories. It was a bestseller in German. It was a bestseller in French. It's just a bestseller. So this audiobook is the most important book because if this audiobook does well, it tells me that, that my books could do well. So this is the most important book, and it was supposed to go live on the 22nd. But actually, I set it up to be a pre-sale. So the pre-sale system with the audiobooks is you have to do it 3 weeks in advance, and you give it to them. It takes them 3 days to review, quality assure it. And then once it's been quality assured, then they put it up for pre-sale everywhere, and then it goes live on the date that you tell them to put it. I told them for it to go live on the 22nd, but it was supposed to go on pre-sale like 2 weeks ago, and it never did. It kept on saying under review, under review, under review, and then I published 2 more books, and they all said the same thing under review, and they never moved to the next process of going on to pre-sale. So I called them up a little while ago, like maybe earlier in the week, and asked them, so why hasn't the book gone into pre-sale yet? And they said, oh, Christmas rush. I'm like, okay. So they said, but it should still go live when it's supposed to go live. I'm like, okay, fine. So yesterday, I emailed them the 22nd, the day before it's supposed to go live, and I said, is this book going to go live? And they said, 1 second, let me check. And they come back to me and they say, oh, it turns out that your account is under review. It's not the book, it's the account. The book is still in a queue to go to quality assurance for all the process to start. So the account, my audiobook account, is under review. I asked them, why? Why is my audiobook account under review? They said, don't know. It's handled by a different department, and that department doesn't give them any information. So I said, well, certainly you'll be able to tell me how long the review will take or how long other reviews have taken in the past. Maybe you have a manager you can talk to and ask that. And they said, nope, there is no one I can ask about the average length of reviews. There's no one I can ask about what the cause of the review is. You're just going to have to wait. So I said, okay, so will this book make it out before Christmas? And they said, oh, probably not. Because the book is in the queue to be quality reassurance, and then it's going to need 2 weeks after that to do all the things. So minimum 3 weeks, which means that even if they were to finish the review on my account and it ended up positive, let's say next week, it wouldn't make Christmas. With all the rush and all that stuff, won't make Christmas. So that means not only will that not make Christmas, but my other two short stories that I was published along with it won't make Christmas. And it also means the book that I just finished audio recording yesterday, In the Moonlight, will also not make Christmas. So I was counting on my audiobooks to rescue me from my financial situation. And it turns out the busiest the busiest season for books that there is, Christmas, it won't make. And on top of that, there's a possibility that my audiobook account could be deleted. Now, why, you may ask? Like, why? No reason. Literally no reason. I checked the list of things that could be a problem. None of my books even come close to any of them. Now, my guess is that they're doing this for copyright reasons. I say that because I've had problems with my aggregator of ebooks onto Amazon, and they said I am no longer able to publish new books onto Amazon through them because Amazon won't accept them. They won't delete the books that I have on there right now, but they won't accept any new books, and they won't update any books that I currently have on Amazon. And I asked why, and they said copyright violations. And I'm like, I own all of my books. And I sent them links to all the evidence that shows it's a lot of my YouTube videos where I talk about having just released a book, and then it's in 2016 and 2017, 2018, meaning that when the books were actually first released, I was talking about having released them, which is perfect state of copyright. I mean, that's proof of copyright, and I can send them anything they needed, but they're not going to do it. They did this stuff for copyright. Now, after I gave them all the evidence for copyright, and this is the aggregator, this is even Amazon, they said, oh, well, there's other reasons too. I'm like, what are the reasons? And then they gave me some bullshit reason about author names, which is not in any way, shape, or form against the rules. Not even close. They said I have two author names. Yeah, I have two author names on the same book. Yes, I do. Yes, I'm doing it on purpose. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing in anything that Amazon says that says is wrong with it. Nothing. So yeah, that and the fact that they said that one of my other books weren't appropriate, a book that's been up on Amazon for 8 years. Not even the English version, the French version. So the English version they had no problem with. The German version they had no problem with. The French version they have a problem with. They said that's inappropriate, even though that book has been on Amazon for 5 years. So again, they didn't remove my books from Amazon. They just simply said I can't publish any books there. But really, obviously the reason is copyright. There's something about copyright there that she's not willing to defend because obviously it's not true. Obviously the copyrights are all mine, but obviously copyright. So I'm thinking that the audiobooks, my account is under review for copyright because they think that somehow I don't own the copyrights. Now, okay, fine. I sent them evidence that's showing that obviously I own the copyright to this. But clearly it doesn't really matter. Like with the ebooks, they say copyright. I own the copyright. They just didn't want me on their site. Probably because of all the things with the KDP account, and these are the books that were in that KDP account. So they're saying the accounts are associated, even though there's nothing like it's just about KDP. Those books are not in KDP. They're in a third-party aggregator. These audiobooks are not in KDP. So I think they're just harassing me because those books are associated with the books that was in the KDP account. But it's not against the rules, which is why they still allow the books to remain on Amazon. It's just they want to continue screwing me. And this is how they can do it. For some unknown goddamn reason. I don't even know. I don't even know. But there it is. So Island Candy, which is my most important book, won't go out for Christmas. Now, I do have an option, which I did take, which is, and they even tried to stop me from doing this by saying, oh, no, you entered a contract when you started with ACX, and you can't break that contract. I'm like, well, yeah, but you didn't publish my book. He said, yeah, but you can't break the contract. I'm like, yes, but you could be reviewing my book indefinitely. He said, yeah, but you can't break the contract. I'm like, I don't care what you say. I own these books. You can't hold my books hostage. They said, yeah, but you can't break a contract. So I said, screw them, and I moved my books from exclusive to non-exclusive with them, and I published the books through an aggregator, which will at least get some of the books up before Christmas to Apple, to Google. So it won't be as many sales as possible, but it will be some sales during the busiest Christmas season. And if they decide to they decide they don't want to delete my account, or they do want to allow me to keep publishing books, why wouldn't they? There's no reason why not to, but they're just fuckers. Then the books will go through to Amazon as well, and I can make any decisions based on that. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I just don't know. Like, the entire year has just been like a hellish hellhole for me. And all the books, like, I've written some good books. Her Red Hood is a good book. Her Best Bad Decision is a really good book, and they've been killed because of Amazon, at least to their customers. And the audiobooks, they might be working on killing my audiobooks on that platform. Part of me is thinking, if I wrote in any other genre, I wouldn't be so tied to Amazon. The reason why I am going through all this hell with Amazon is because they own the bisexual romance author, bisexual romance viewership, readers. They own it. They own it hard. Like, I can't make a living writing in any other platform. I can only make a living writing bisexual romance through Amazon. So because I write bisexual romance, I am a slave to Amazon. And a part of me goes, maybe I shouldn't write bisexual romance. Yes, I have a lot of fans in bisexual romance. But if I can't make a living at it, then maybe I shouldn't do it. Maybe I should switch to another romance category. Maybe I should switch to sci-fi. Like, I don't even know if my readers would translate from bisexual romance just to normal romance. I don't think they probably would. So I would be starting scratch. I'd be starting from scratch with whatever genre I went to. Do I just write something else? That way I'm not beholden to Amazon. Because I have a formula now. At least I know in romance what actually sells. Like, Taming the Beast stories sell. Whether it's Taming the Beast stories in bisexual romance, or Taming the Beast stories in just male-male romance. Could even, not male-male, male-female romance. It could even work maybe with male-male romance. Who knows? But I know that works, and I know what the formula is in terms of selling stuff. So I know if I were to write a Taming the Beast, I would then immediately do an audiobook, and then I'd immediately translate into French and German. That formula, that's the successful formula. That will make me as much money as I can make in that, whatever it is. So do I just abandon bisexual romance and write something else, which I will have zero audience for, but I basically have zero audience for audiobooks, for bisexual romance audiobooks. Like, I don't know how many I'm actually selling through my podcast, like from advertising on my podcast. Maybe some, maybe a lot, maybe none. I don't know. But I do know that audiobooks don't need to have a predetermined audience in order to sell well. Because even though I might even have readers, bisexual romance readers, I'm focusing on audiobooks right now. And very, very, like, the smallest fraction of my readers are actually also audiobook listeners. The tiniest fraction. So it'd just be like I'm starting from scratch with audiobooks if I were entered another genre. It'd be like exactly the same thing. And if I'm going to be dependent on audiobooks for like most of my money, then I could just write in any genre I want. So why am I writing bisexual romance? I know I have these channels and stuff like that, but if I can't make a living doing it, I can't make a living doing it, and I have to do something else. So I know this channel is called Bisexual Romance Author Vlog, but maybe I shouldn't write bisexual romance. Maybe I should write something else. Because I don't know what to do at this point. Amazon is just like, it's been a year. It's been over a year. And they're still fucking with me. I don't know. I'm nearing my limit. I really am. Like, I keep trying to be positive. I keep thinking, well, how much worse it could be. But I'm very quickly racking up a ton of debt because I'm not making enough to survive for my books. And I'm trying to expand the company, and I expanded the translations. So the translations seem to have worked. Translations seem to be working. Maybe they're selling well, but I don't know whether they'll make a profit. And then I spent some on audiobooks, and now it looks like audiobooks could be killed. Because if they decide to just block my books from being published on Amazon, my audiobooks from being published on Amazon, which there's zero reason for them to do. Zero reason for them to do. But this is Amazon, and they are a monopoly, and they can do whatever they want. So if they decide to do that, then that means I will never make a profit back from my audiobooks. At least all the ones that are bisexual romance. So yeah, I'm in a loss right now. I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'm probably going to take the weekend off. I'm going to do some climbing tomorrow on Saturday. The Saturday that just passed. You're watching this on Sunday. And I'm going to a friend's board game birthday thing. And then on Sunday, I'm just going to, I don't know. Maybe I'll eat. But I'm just gonna try and figure stuff out. Maybe I don't write bisexual romance anymore. Maybe that's the answer. That would be sad, wouldn't it? I think so. Anyway, that's where I am. I guess not all the vlogs can be positive. And yeah. But hey, if you want to listen to the sample of my latest audiobook, which is Bane, I'll put it on the end there just so you can listen to it. You can check it out. It's good. I think it's good. Other people think it's good. I'm just rambling now. Until next time, which is, I don't know what it'll be next week or what it'll be a week after. I've been trying to do more, bisexual real talk videos, but I've also been trying to align them with when I released audiobooks. And of course, when's my next audiobook coming out? Who knows? So until the next one, stay cooler, my bisexual and reader friends. Stay cooler. Bye. And stick around for the sample of Bane. And now a sample of Bane, MMF Bisexual Romance, by me, Alex Anders. Chapter 1. Taylor was experiencing that lost feeling that follows a breakup when he entered the bar. It wasn't like his ex-girlfriend had a chance of being his soulmate. She was enthusiastic about being with him and beautiful, but she lacked that one quality that Taylor's girlfriends needed, the ability to read Taylor's mind. Sure, Taylor understood that it was an unfair requirement, but that didn't change the necessity of the trait. Reading Taylor's mind would have allowed his exes to surpass so much of his hesitation when it came to relationships. It would have allowed him to open up with them without having to actually say anything aloud. Any rejection could, therefore, go unspoken, and most important to Taylor, his ex-girlfriend's seemingly inevitable rejection would hurt Taylor less. Without that telepathy, Taylor was required to rely on less elegant means. He emotionally kept his girlfriends at arm's length. Was it unfair to them? Maybe. Actually, of course it was, and Taylor knew it. But love is a difficult thing. It is especially difficult when what you love comes with a twist. El Carmen's was where Taylor chose to drink away this disappointment tonight. He typically didn't go to bars by himself, but he didn't consider any of his friends drinking buddies, and tonight he desperately needed to go out. In spite of being in the heart of Los Angeles, El Carmen's was designed like a 1900s New York subway station. Colorful tiles lined the rounded ceiling, and the narrow space created an intimate feeling. "Blood orange margarita?" he yelled to the female bartender with a nose ring. As the man next to him got up, he slid onto the stool.
It was crowded, but he didn't have it in him to be gentlemanly tonight. He needed to wash away his self-loathing for destroying another relationship, and he needed a sturdy seat to do it from. With the first drink down, he ordered another. With half of that soon gone, he felt the soothing effects kicking in. The world was a little less dangerous, and the thoughts that he spent so much time repressing were slowly floating to the surface. Taylor looked around at the revelers pushing through the tight space. There were a lot of very good-looking people. The women were adorned in little dresses that half-heartedly swallowed their breasts, and the guys were styled in the combination of chic and nonchalance that drove Tyler wild. Did I just admit that? He thought. No matter how much he drank, he was never allowed to lower his guard that much. He was practiced at pushing back his thoughts about men. It had to have something to do with his breakup with Juliet. She had kept asking him why he didn't open up to her, and he was on the verge of telling her before she suddenly gave up on him and called it quits. She had brought his feelings for men to the surface, and now he couldn't rebury them. Taylor threw back the last of his second drink while waving the bartender down for a third. His plan was to nurse that one maintaining his preferred level of escape. The night would have remained perfectly reasonable, and his life would have continued unchanged if a man didn't just then enter the bar, ruthlessly stealing his attention. Taylor hadn't even been looking in his direction. He had turned towards him because of that chill you get on your neck when someone's staring at you. The man's eyes were locked on Taylor, and the insides of Taylor's chest tingled when their eyes met. The man was beautiful. Built like a rock star, he moved like a cat. His hair fell to 2 inches below his neck, and he oozed sex. Unlike the well-manicured men around him, this man looked a little dirty. His 3-day stubble was a little overgrown. The wrinkled white shirt under his jacket was unbuttoned to the bottom of his sternum, and if Taylor was mistaken, he swayed like he was already buzzed. There was nothing about him that was good, but why then did Taylor have such a hard time looking away? It was the alcohol, Taylor decided. It was stripping away his inhibitions. The image of the man heading towards him terrified Taylor while at the same time tightening the crotch of his pants. His heart was racing, and he could hear his heart pounding in his ears.
You've been listening to a sample of Bane, MMF Bisexual Romance. You can get the full audiobook at Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, and the links are in the description for this podcast. Enjoy.